3, 2, 1, probando. 3, 2, 1, probando.
Hay, claro está, personas que no quieren que hablemos. Hay, claro está, personas que no quieren que hablemos.
Every 3 or 4 generations. It occurs every 3 or 4 generations.
Ave, hijos del sol, yo os saludo, gracias por estar aquí. ¿Qué tal lleváis el fin del puñetero mundo? Se lleva como uno puede. Ya, bueno, me permitiréis que este vídeo, como siempre, es para avanzados. Desde aquí le quiero mandar un saludo muy fuerte a UFO Omni-Error, a un amigo que me ha comentado esta noticia tan brutal. Y sí, ya es cierto, ya está confirmado ya. Un caza norteamericano en cielo que actualmente está en guerra, en conflicto bélico, creo que es en Oriente, han colgado un tuit, incluso tengo la entrevista aquí que es brutal, como que han abierto fuego a algo parecido a una medusa. Un caza, atención, estos cazas tienen un sistema de armas autónomo. Este sistema de armas automatizado es capaz de discernir entre un ave, un objeto metálico, algo que no emite calor y simplemente es por la fricción que hace al desplazarse que es detectado. Esto es la hostia, es como Skynet pero en un avión, ¿de acuerdo? Así que no vale eso, era un dron, era... no, era el proyecto Blue Bean, que es para engañar a los borregos, obviamente, no. Este sistema autónomo de armas es denominado EVA 1 y es capaz de detectar una pulga en el culo de una gaviota, ¿de acuerdo? Pues ¿qué ha pasado? Que han detectado un organismo que no emitía calor, pero sí iba a mucha velocidad, no tenía sistema de propulsión y cuando se han acercado era algo bestial parecido a una medusa. Todo esto lo vais a ver aquí ahora. Vosotros sabéis que soy un flipado de las MMA y del deporte de contacto. Yo sigo mucho a joerogan, este tío tiene un podcast mundial. Pues bien, atención a esta entrevista de hace escasos días, donde se reconoce que actualmente el ejército norteamericano, quizá en zona de guerra actual, hay varios conflictos abiertos actualmente, tanto rusos como ucranianos como norteamericanos, están viendo en los cielos UAPS, objetos voladores biológicos no identificados. Porque digo biológicos porque no tienen sistema de propulsión. Y ya puede venir aquí el Aldo este, o el otro el Quantum Fragmente, o quien quieran, pueden venir quien quieran. Aquí versiones oficialistas no. Ya está confirmado ya. Se está abriendo fuego contra entidades atmosféricas que están por ahí en medio de quién sabe. Atención a la entrevista porque os va a interesar mucho, os va a interesar mucho. Olvidaros de pleiadianos y de confederación y de la cúpula y de pajas mentales, porque esto es lo que está pasando actualmente en los cielos.
Over active war zones right now, there is such an increased frequency of what they call UAP or UFO that they have these rules whether or not they fire upon them. And people got so mad at me for saying publicly on the news that we do fire at UAP, UFOs, because we fucking do. But why we do is not what people think. So when you have an active war zone, specifically the area of the world that I'm talking about in the Middle East, anything within 27 to 30 miles of ground troops gets fired upon. That's it. But I was exposed to documents that tell me a little bit more precisely how you choose what to fire upon. And what you fire upon is anything that appears that it could have a payload. Really? Yeah, because it would be a threat. What do they do with like the cubes surrounded by these spheres? fucking nothing because they don't look like they have a payload, so they disregard, they're not part of the mission. So my point in saying that kind of on the news, I don't need to prove to anybody it's true. It is true. I speak with people that are there right now. It is true, and there's been such an increased frequency since 2021 that it has been pushed up to kind of like critical, where they're like, okay, these things are in our airspace, we could have collisions, but more importantly, like, we see other countries firing on these. Russia, Syria, we know it's not their assets. So the question is, whose are these?
So when you say firing at these, so...
Hellfire missiles.
Right, so you have this thing, and what shape are these ones that have payloads?
Okay, well that's what's crazy. So I have images of one that we fired on, and for
Can you show us the image?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show me right now.
I'll show you. I'll show you, but I think it's...
Can't show it publicly yet?
I don't know, because it comes from a document I probably shouldn't have seen, but people send things to me in ways that I can look at them. So anyway, let's talk about that later. So it looks like this. Looks like a fucking jellyfish, man.
Like a jellyfish?
Yeah, I don't know. It's stiff, but not the size of like a big coffee table. That's the one, at least, that we've fired on recently.
Big coffee, like this desk, maybe?
Yeah, about 10 to 12 feet.
And then it looks
domed, and then it has and they're not all like this, but this is the one we're talking about that I know was recently fired upon.
And what do they think it's made out of?
See, that's the whole thing, man.
Is it like metallic?
That's the whole thing. There's no retrieval program that's known in these war zones. So even if they did hit something, first of all, would they be able to take it down, whatever it is, right? And by the way, we're eliminating that these are balloons, drug smugglers who use balloons and shit like that. These are objects that have controlled flight.